I already felt my lapse in video uploads coming because August is when school was starting and my little 5th grader is doing virtual learning, and we were still trying to get acclimated with what all that entails. And to be completely honest, I think everybody should have just took a gap year, come again next year, let's try again. But we're here now, so yeah. Welcome. My name is Alana Marie. I am a documentary filmmaker, digital content creator, and content coach. And this channel is for all of you digital content creators out there who are trying to move your content from ideation to execution. And today, which is funny because of my lapse in time in creating content, or at least for YouTube, because your girl has been working on the back end, but how to simplify your content creation process. So basically getting the ideas out of your head and putting it on paper, putting it on computer, putting it on video, uploading for the masses to see. So today I'm going to be sharing some of the tips that I have found useful in my content creation process. And I'm all for simple. I work smarter, not harder. This is not a hard process. And I just want to share a couple of things that I hope that you may find helpful in your content creation process. Number one, I batch create. So when I was consistently uploading videos to YouTube, it was because I set apart some time to batch create or batch record my YouTube videos. And batching is simply having a designated time where you're creating a lot of content in one sitting. And so what I found most helpful for me today is that I'm filming is Wednesday. Wednesdays midweek typically is the best day for me to have an afternoon, set up my camera, sit next to my window, all this beautiful natural lighting, and record all of the content that I pre-planned before. So I batch create what I want to record, and I also batch record. So my batch creation process typically looks like me sitting down during a power hour, and I will write down topics of what I think I want to talk about, what have been pain points for clients that I've been working with over these past couple of weeks. And that will be my topic. And then I will put 3 to 5, sometimes 7 bullet points under that topic of what I want to describe in those topics. So for this one, how I simplify my content creation process, I write 5 different bullet points, which I will share throughout this video. And that is how I pre-draft. The draft is the pre-work, duh. That is how I draft out the content that I want to create. And so I try to do at least 3 videos at a time, creating content for those 3 topics, as well as recording 3 videos in one sitting. That way it's all done in one afternoon, because it can be very exhausting, but I'm glad I get it out of the way. And that way, when I sit down on my computer, I can designate the days that I go in to refine my edits, whether that be a blog post, whether that be a YouTube video, or what have you. So batch creating I found most helpful for myself in producing the most amount of content in one sitting. It's most effective for me. And because of my schedule, even though I work for myself and I work from home, my husband also works from home in his office, and my daughter's also doing virtual schooling in her room. And so we have our own little designated spaces. I'm in my own little corner in my own little chair where I can be whatever I want to be. But I still find it most helpful to be present for them and then setting aside time to do my own thing. So batch recording is the best for my lifestyle in this current moment in time. I need to hurry up and eat these before they go bad, if they haven't already. Have they gone bad? I think we're good. Back to you. Another tip that I have in simplifying my content creation process is focusing on few social channels. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, and I'm finally getting the group of Pinterest. But when it comes to creating content, my 2 primary channels that I exert the most energy towards is Instagram. That is my bread and butter. Of course, YouTube. Getting into the groove of Pinterest, but that is more so for my blog. So now technically I have 3 And then I try to integrate all of my content to disperse amongst all of those channels. But my Twitter is my personal space. I'm not worried about finding clients on Twitter. I'm not worried about being professional on Twitter. Like, that is my space where I get to laugh and joke and just BS with my friends on the internet. And Facebook is more so for family, to keep up with what I'm doing. I do have some professional stuff on my Facebook as well. I do get some clientele work on Facebook as well, but there's no intentionality behind trying to create content for those two platforms. Those are just for me. I strongly believe in having some social channels just for you, to where you don't have to think about it. And those two are mine. And so designating certain social channels for where you know you are going to want to publish your content. So the fewer, the better. A third tip in simplifying my content creation process is creating content for value, not necessarily for attention. Yes, I want eyes on my content. I want eyes on my work, but I don't want to just spew anything because it is going to be attached to my name. So I'm creating things for value, which will subsequently get attention in the long run. I don't want the premise behind my content creation process to be a viral sensation. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. If pieces of my content does go viral, awesome. But I want to have so much in the chamber, so much on my thread, so much on my website, so much on my YouTube channel, that people not only see that viral video, but it's also good enough for them to want to binge watch or binge read my content, and then hopefully become a client of mine in the long run. But ultimately, I'm creating for value. So these tips and these suggestions, these are genuine things that I practice on my own when the camera is not on, and I am just working in my own little silo. And so really, people tend to see that through your work. Are you doing this just to throw something out there? Are you half-assing it? Are you really trying to provide value for the people who will be looking at your content? A fourth tip is designating certain content upload days. So for YouTube, I found that Fridays are best for me to actually upload. So once a week for me, at least for now, that's how much I can manage at the time. One video every Friday. And then for Instagram, I'm still playing around with, I typically would do 3 times a week. I may reduce that just because I'm starting to blog again. I started as a writer. I had my own personal blog almost 10 years ago. So I started as a writer. So I'm actually in the process of getting back to my roots. So I'm diverting a lot of my content energy to go to my personal website, which I recommend all content creators to have their own personal website, something that you own, something that is yours. God forbid Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and YouTube all go down at the same time, and then you don't have anything that is yours. So definitely get your own website. But I'm blogging again, and I'm so excited. I have a couple of post links in the description box below for you to read to get some more valuable content. Hint, hint. But designating certain days to upload your content, so you're not just doing it aimlessly. And a good tool for that I'm just now learning about, and I'm kind of upset that Facebook actually does not promote it more, is Facebook Creative Studio. And so basically you get to basically you get to batch create and upload your content onto this portal, which is free, and then it'll upload both to your Facebook business page and your Instagram page. So I can batch upload all of my content and designate days that I want them to go out on both of those platforms, and it's free, and it has been heaven sent. I don't use it as much as I probably should, but going into the new year and revamping my website and just pushing out more content in this last quarter, my content will be dispersed via Facebook Creator Studio. And fifth and last tip that I have found super duper helpful is repurposing old content, or repurposing your content as a whole. So you're not always starting from scratch. You're not reinventing the wheel. Finding content that was very helpful maybe a couple of years ago, and then going back to those old articles and seeing maybe I can pull that quote and make a nice graphic and turn it into an Instagram post. Or can I turn this blog post into a YouTube or an Instagram reel, which seems to be the wave now. My very first reel, y'all, had over 11,000 views. Get real with reels. Highly recommend. But repurposing your old work, because as times change and social media evolves, there are still some things that ring true today. And so it's a good tip to create evergreen content, regardless if it's 2015 or 2020, it's still relevant. You just polish it up a little bit, maybe have some different graphics, create new graphics for your work, spicing up your content. It's your work. It is your work. Going through, reviewing to see what is relevant to the times today and republishing it. Okay, y'all, we are at the end of this video. I try to keep it short, sweet, and straight to the point. I am happy to be back on the YouTube internets. I have a lot in store for you all. I have a lot of content coming your way, and I'm praying that we finally have our groove with our daughter's virtual learning. We are still staying safe and just being present to everything that is going on, being mindful of everything that is going on. I hope you all are remaining safe. I pray that your families are safe and being healthy. And I pray that you are taking this time as you all are watching this video. I hope you have found these tips helpful, and I hope that you are going to be integrating some of these tips into your content creation process to help simplify the process. Again, I'm all for moving from ideation to execution. Guys, this is not rocket science, but even rocket science can be figured out because we got rocket scientists. That's what I tell all of my clients, and now I'm telling you. So again, I have a lot in store for you all. I am excited to build back up my consistency, and I will see you all again next Friday. Bye.